Hey YouTube, welcome back to another video. If you watched my last video, I did promise I'd get an update on my green tree python paludarium going. I did try and film it. He wasn't in the best of mood, so I had to cut that short. So today we're going to be escaping Gary the betta fish aquarium. It's only a small aquarium, so it shouldn't take us too long. If there's something that interests you, then please stay tuned. Without any further ado, let's crack on with today's video. Okay, so welcome back. So today we're going to be looking at Gary's tank. We're going to try and make it look a little bit better, try and create a better environment for him. As you can see, there's just a couple of fake plants, and I've got some floating plants at the top, just helping him with feeling secure, and you can make up a little bubble nest. As you can see, there's an internal filter in there at the moment. I'm going to be running a hang on the back filter on this as well, so we're going to eventually remove that. I do have some already cycled media that I'm going to use in the hang on filter, but I'm still going to run both at the same time just to be extra cautious, as it's quite a small tank. But the first thing we need to do is get Gary out of his tank into a container, and let's make a start on this tank. Okay, so I'm just going to drain some water out to fill in containers, put Gary in, and then we'll crack on with the tank. Okay, so let's remove everything away from the tank, give it a good clean down, and we can start scaping. Okay, so let's give the tank a quick clean down, we'll drain the tank, and then we'll get ready to start scaping. Okay, so now the tank is empty and it's got a good clean. I think it's time to add the substrate and start scaping this tank. Okay, so I'm reasonably happy with the hardscape. So now that's in, let's try and go about planting this tank. Using simple plants, just things like Anubias and some mini Java ferns, some things quite easy to look after. I'll put links in the description for these plants. If you want to go and buy some yourself, then feel free. Okay, so that's the hardscape and it's been planted. It's not a scape of a massive amount of thought into, something I just thought would make his environment a little bit better for the time being. I will be putting the internal filter back in, which won't look the best for now, but I will be running a hang on the back filter as well. So I'll run those two separately just to make sure the hang on the back filter is fully cycled. Once you've done that, then I'll be able to remove the internal filter and actually hopefully make the tank look a little bit better. I'll go ahead and put the filter back in now. We'll fill the tank up and we'll try and put Gary back in. Okay, so the filter's back in there. It doesn't look the best, but it could be worse. As I said, I'll get the on the back filter running in the next couple of days just to make sure it's cycled. Like I said, it's still got some cycled media, so it's handy to keep some about just in case you need some in an emergency. Like I've probably shown you before, I keep that in my tub, as well as the plants you've seen me planting today have all come from the tub. I haven't had to go out and buy anything. So enough of me waffling on. I think it's about time we filled up this tank. I'm just going to add a little glass bowl into the tank now, just to make sure I don't disturb the sand too much. I've added some dechlorinator into the water, and that's all I've done. Now it's time to start filling it back up. Okay, so now we've given the tank time to settle in. It's time to add Gary back into his tank. So he's just sat in here in this jug that's just covering him. There he is. Okay, so it's time to get him back in. Okay, so as I said, it's not the biggest scape I've ever done. It was quite quick to do. I'm probably going to have to take it down pretty soon, so I haven't put too much effort into it. As you can see, I've added quite simple and easy to look after plants. So I've added some Bacopa in there. I've added those behind the Seiryu stone. I also had some small Java ferns growing from my quarantine tub. And I've also added some Anubias Nano in there as well. With the Bacopa, usually I would take the ties off at the bottom of the stems. I'm not going to do this time because I'm probably going to have to remove them relatively soon. But if you are going to be planting plants in substrate, make sure you remove those so they can root out properly. I've added a floating plant in there as well, so when that grows to the top, Gary can start blowing his little bubble nests on there. As you can see, he seems pretty happy in this scape. It looks a little bit better than having a bare bottom tank. And it obviously makes him feel a little bit more secure, places to hide, and a little bit more interest for him. I haven't added the hang on the back filter yet. I'm going to be doing that in the next couple of days and running that so I can eventually remove the internal filter to make the setup look a little bit better. Like I said, all the items that I've used today I've already had here. Like I said, a lot of this has come from the quarantine tub which I set up, and I suggest you maybe go back and have a look at that if it's something you're interested in. But all the plants have come from that, and I've grown myself. Other than the Bacopa, I did pick those up the other day. As usual, I'd love to know what you think about this scape, and if you have any comments about Gary in general, please let me know. I'm really fond of this new fish. I've never kept a betta fish before, but I think it's probably not going to be my last. If you'd like to see more regular updates on Gary or any of the other inhabitants or enclosures I have, then please go check me out on Instagram, Facebook or Twitter, where I keep daily updates on there as well, so make sure you join. We'll be doing giveaways on Facebook very soon. If that's something you're interested in, then please make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell, and go and check out my Facebook page to make sure you don't miss out on any prizes. I'll be looking to give away t-shirts, mugs, things that I'm actually making myself. If you'd like to see any of the merch that I am producing, I'll put the links in the description below, and I've also got the links on my profile as well, so go and check those out. I really appreciate your support. For any of the money I make, I do put it back into this channel and try and make the best videos I possibly can for you. But overall, I think today was quite a success. For those of you who are waiting for my green tree python paladarian update, I will be looking to do that for one of my next videos, depending on the temperament of the snake at the time. For those of you who haven't seen him before, I had him since a juvenile. I didn't really handle him too much. Obviously they do have quite fragile tails. It's probably gone against me now not handling him when he's a juvenile and trying to tame him down now when he's an adult, but you live and learn. So if that's something that interests you, I'll be trying to get that together very shortly, so make sure you stay tuned. But I think that's enough for today's video. Thanks for me and thanks for Gary, and we'll see you next time.